It's
really
interesting that
cool.
you say that because there's so many. I find like a big thing in sport jiu-jitsu too is kind of the whole. There's like two approaches, I guess, where some people are like drilling something like a million times or like however many times it takes until it's kind of just ingrained in their head. But there's also been this other thing. Like, do you kind of just do it with very little effort, or is it more of a thing where you're working on it, but you're having them like resist against you, or they know that you're going after it, or how exactly do you work it out?
Everything's done with resistance, but the level of resistance always varies. So when you're first learning something, let's say I'm learning a brand new move today. Like I'm doing something I've never done before. Um, I'm going to have like very little resistance because what good is it for me to keep failing at this move? Okay, I'm learning something the first time. You're really good at stopping it. Like I'm not gonna hit it, right? So I'm gonna have like very resistance. So we'll start like maybe give me like 10%. So I think of 10% as okay. You're not. We've all had the trainer partner where they're being like a dead fish. Okay, it's like they're doing it, and you go for the sweep, and like you just like the wind blows in that way, and like they get thrown on their back, and that's no good for anyone, right? We've all had that partner where it's not good because you want to make sure you're doing it right. You don't want to just go through the motions and have them like magically throw themselves on their back. So, but you start off at like 10%, 10, 20%, which is that's like okay, I'm gonna keep a little bit of base. I'm not gonna fight you, but I'm gonna not fall over for you. I'm not gonna just tap the second you lock something up. And then it slowly start just ramping up their resistance a little bit, and like every single rep should be you finish the rep, but you struggle a tiny little bit. In the beginning, like it'll be easier, but once you've done it, maybe 20, 30 times, now you want to struggle on every single rep, and you want to get it every single time, but you still want to struggle. And what's going to happen is well, for me at least, I struggle at different stages. So in the beginning, maybe I'm struggling at the something on the beginning. Now I'm getting the beginning go, but now I'm struggling at the end a little bit more, and but I should be going through the entire motion the entire way every single time, and it should always be with a little bit of struggle. And that's just like for the drilling aspect of it, just like working on it. And then when I'm like trying to hit it live, it's kind of the same thing except that I want whoever I go against give me 100%, but I'm not going to try my best. So I train with Joe Proctor, Jimmy Quinlan, my brother. I have a bunch of guys in my gym that are like really really good grapplers. So if something I just learned recently, I'm not going to hit on them. It's not going to work. I'm just gonna it's gonna be demoralizing. I'm gonna have way less confidence in things. It's just not going to work for me. So instead, I have my guys that are not very good that I'm going to go with first. So like, okay, I'm gonna go for like the white belts. I'm going to run this on, and even if I was doing everything wrong, it would probably still work against them. But I still do everything properly so that I make sure I'm just positive reinforcement, positive, good reps every single time. Then I do it on my blue belts. Then I do my purple belts. And I just slowly work the way up. And before you know it, you've done thousands of reps on this move, and now I'm hitting it live and doing stuff like that.
You brought up a really good point. The whole thing about you don't want to be down. Like if you tried against, say, your brother, and he knows it's coming, and he's going to shut it down, and it kind of brings you down. And so you said you go to your white belts, your blue belts, your purple belts, etc. What kind of I guess before a fight, let's say you have a fight scheduled 6 weeks out, 8 weeks out. I guess
Yep.
that's usually the notice you're given. When do you kind of stay away from the drilling that you just explained and now get into, okay, this is the real deal. I'm done learning things. I'm just simply going to go live, rolling all the time. Like, so how far out from a fight do you cut that off, what you just said, and then said, okay, we're going live here. This is the stuff that's going to benefit me for the fight.
I'll be drilling it, like week of the fight. Like
Oh,
we'll still
okay.
be getting good reps. Like it's like so like when we go out on fight week. So I used to do nothing fight week. I would just be like I was in like 100% like recovery mode. Like I would grapple a tiny little bit. I would maybe hit mitts a tiny little bit, but like very very brief, just kind of like barely doing anything, just to kind of just basically I would use it just so I would stretch out. I would stretch out every day and then hit mitts for like a couple of minutes, and that would be it. Now it's like I get a little bit more. I don't do a ton, but I definitely break more of a sweat for that stuff. But it's pretty much the same thing. Like all the stuff we're working on, we're still drilling, we're still repping. Like I'm not gonna if there's something that we're drilling to get ready for a fight, we're gonna drill it on a schedule that I'm gonna be ready to hit it come fight night. Like I'm not gonna learn something 2 weeks out. Like some things that maybe is something I could incorporate in my game 2 weeks out, and I can hit it on fight night. But there's gonna be a lot of things that I'm not. So if we're 2 weeks out and I'm trying to incorporate something new, that's when we get rid of that altogether. Maybe it's 6 weeks out. We're like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to change the way I've been shooting. I've been shooting a double leg a certain way for 10 years. I'm not going to change that 6 weeks out. You know what I mean? For after the fight, we'll work on changing that. but I'm not gonna. This is not. It's not gonna be effective to try and switch us, that close to the fight. So, but if there's something we expect to hit on fight night, I'm gonna drill that and rep that all the way.
Do you ever have these cases? Because you said like you never want to have like a new move and try it out and start doing it the week, like fight week, for example. Do you ever have it where you see a move that you wanted to learn or something, and the next thing you know, you're actually trying it in the fight live?
I do that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely
never works.
Yeah, for me, it works sometimes. Like, there's been times, like, there's been things that I've done in fights that I have never done in the gym. I've seen it, like, on a video on YouTube or something. I'm like, oh, I guess that worked. So there's definitely been times when I've done stuff and I've just, like, completely pulled things out of my butt, and I've pulled it off, and it's great and everything like that. But more often than that, though, is, like, it's something that I used to do, like, years ago. Like, I go back to that triangle I had on Jamie Varner. Like, that was, like, a way that I used to try and jump to people's back all the time. And then they would stop me, and then I would triangle them. And I was doing that, like, this is back, like, 10 years ago, I was doing that all the time. But I hadn't done it in probably 7 years, 8 years. And then we're in the right position, I just jumped for it, and I just went for it. And part of that goes back to, like I was saying, like, having confidence. Like, jiu-jitsu works because you have confidence in it. Like, someone that is confident will perform 100 times better than someone that's not confident. And that's usually why some guys are, like on fight day, like, some people or day of competition, whatever it is, some people really rise to the occasion. Some people just crumble. And the people that rise are the guys that are confident. Sometimes they're blindly confident. You could have a guy that sucks, but he competes well because he doesn't know that he sucks.
I wish I had that. Man, I gotta.
So you're probably the opposite. So you know enough where you doubt yourself. You probably give yourself like, you focus on all the negative stuff. You know. For me, it was like early on, like I knew that, like, it's like my guard passing sucked in the beginning, but I was really good at footlocking people. So I never even tried to pass the guard. As soon as I was dealing with the guard, I would footlock them, or I would do that. And then because when I got good at footlocks, people started to realize I was good at footlocks. So then the guard passing came a little bit easier. But I didn't realize, like, I didn't really understand how badly I sucked at passing guard. If I did, I probably wouldn't have been as confident in my ability. I was like, I don't care. I'm just gonna wrap the foot up, and I'll pass the guard off the scramble. But I was confident, so it worked.